Okay, leçon 3. This is where we're getting into the meat of the stuff. Leçon 3 is all about reflexive verbs using the passé composé to say, like, I did wash my hair, I did brush my teeth, I didn't brush my teeth this morning. Okay? So, question essentielle. Comment je fais le réflexif au passé composé, and I'm just going to do PC for passé composé. Okay? Comment je fais le réflexif au passé composé? All right, here we go. To talk about reflexive actions in the past, French uses the auxiliary verb or the helping verb, as we often said in elementary school, être. Okay, so we learned with passé composé that there are avoir verbs and être verbs, and the être verbs are the Dr. and Mrs. Vandertramp with verbs of movement. You may have seen the être house. And in this case, with reflexive verbs, those verbs also use être. Okay, the reflexive pronoun, the me, te, se, nous, vous, ce goes in front of être. Okay? So look at this like formula here. We have our subject or our pronoun. In this case, it's a subject Marc. Then we have our reflexive pronoun, ce. Notice there's a apostrophe because what comes next starts with a vowel. And then we have être. So here it says the reflexive pronoun goes in front of être. And then we have the past participle habillé. So Marc got himself dressed. Okay? Marc s'est habillé. Right? Also, because it's with être, we need to remember this is always the case whenever we use être, that everything has to agree in gender and number. Okay? Whenever we use être for anything, whether if it's in the present, elle est intelligente, she is smart, we have to put an e at the end. If it's passé composé with she or they, the girls, came to my house, elles sont venues chez moi, we have to have an e and an s at the end. So the same is true with reflexive verbs. It has être, so it has to agree. Okay? So let's take a look here at this table. This is all about se coucher, to put oneself to bed. So if I want to say, I put myself to bed or I go to bed, je me suis couché. Okay? Me suis couché. Here's our verbal phrase. If I'm saying it, I use she, her pronouns, so I would definitely need the e. Okay? You went to bed. Tu t'es couché. If the person you're talking to is she, her, we would need that. He went to bed. Il s'est couché. Now it's a he, so we don't need the e, we don't need an s. She went to bed. Elle s'est couchée. We need that extra e. One went to bed, or in French, this should be a lowercase. The French often use on for we when they speak, not when they write, but when they speak. If I want to say we went to bed, on s'est couché. On s'est couché à 10 heures. All right, here's the formal way to say we went to bed. Nous nous sommes couchés. It's plural, so we need the s. And if we're talking about we, the girls, us girls, we would need the e. All of you went to bed. Vous vous êtes couchés. If all of you were girls, you would need the e. And if we're talking about all of you versus someone like a formal vous, you would need the s. The guys went to bed. Ils se sont couchés. Okay, they need the s because there's a bunch of them. The girls, elles, went to bed. Elles se sont couchées. They are girls. They are plural. We need both things. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, now, if when we're talking about doing something in your routine, if the body part follows the verb, like she brushed her teeth, then the past participle does not agree. I know this is a crazy thing, but it's something just to be aware of, okay? So if I want to say she washed herself, okay, that is reflexive, she's washing herself, then it agrees. Elle s'est lavée. But if she washed her hands are following the action, the body part. So now the washes does not agree, okay? Elle s'est lavée les mains. Okay, so we have the body part follows the verb, so no agreement. Sorry about that. Okay, now let's quick see how we can put this in the negative, because now we got a whole bunch of things going on. To make a reflexive passé composé phrase negative with the ne pas, put the ne in front again of the reflexive pronoun me, te, ce, nous, vous, ce, and the pas after the form of être. Okay, so let's take a look at the order of everything. The ne is always going to come in front. Okay, the ne comes in front. So it's always going to be nous ne, je ne, tu ne, il ne, okay? But then the pas comes after the first verb. And this shouldn't be like weird, because we learned whenever we make things negative and there's more than one verb, everything always goes around the first verb. And this is our first verbal phrase, the être. Okay? So, nous ne nous sommes pas réveillés à 8 heures. We didn't wake up at 8. Right? Je ne me suis pas brossé les cheveux ce matin. Okay? I didn't brush my hair this morning. So, what we need to be aware of is the ne and the pas go around the first verbal phrase. The ne and the pas go around the first one. There's the first, there's the second. All right? Okay, you're going to do your activité for this lesson before you go on to lesson 4.